You found me on YouTube, and we're going to do some fun things today and what to use to make coffee and what is good for your body and what's bad for your body. I see our cameraman Sohail is fixated straight off on the Turkish coffee pot. It probably has something to do with his Pakistan background and loving to travel to Turkey, where he drinks coffee all day long. This is a great way to make coffee. It's pure copper and brass, and there's no bad elements boiling in the water with the coffee. Here's another great technique to make Turkish coffee in stainless steel. Now, I think my good friend Fred at one point had a Turkish coffee maker.
I did indeed.
That was made of plastic. It had a stainless steel bottom and boiler.
But the sides were all plastic.
But the sides were all hard plastic, and I talked him into discarding this to get another form of coffee maker, which is here, which is very cute with the handle on it.
And look on the inside.
Oh, and all stainless steel. Perfect, huh?
Yeah.
Now, apart from coffee, there's also percolators. Turkish coffee, there's percolators. Here's a percolator I just bought that's made of glass, stainless steel, totally inside and out, where you put the coffee here, and then, of course, on the inside is all stainless steel. All healthy. And then I think, Fred, you told me that when your parents were growing up, this was your coffee pot.
Yes.
So that one.
This is very nostalgic for me because my parents used all metal on top of the stove percolator. The water would bubble up, and then I remember my father putting on the timer for 5 or 10 minutes for it to percolate. And so even though I haven't used this very often over the years, when I have relatives come down, the only reason I haven't used this over the years is because for one person living alone, you got to waste so much coffee and put in so much water.
Show them the inside, Fred.
But then I fell in love with Turkish coffee, and that seems to be a theme today. This is just regular style coffee, whether you use whatever brand you use, and it's stovetop. Yep, all stainless steel. But I have fallen in love with Turkish coffee, and as John just illustrated, I went from using plastic, which isn't good for you. We'll get into, John, I'm sure we'll get into the whole thing about microplastics. And I've gone to using, what he showed.
Another method of making coffee, it's called French press. And what's nice about this is it has a big, nice glass receptacle for the hot water. You actually just put the coffee grounds down into the bottom. You boil water, pour the water into the carafe, and put this top on, which is made of metal and stainless steel. And after the coffee and the grounds have soaked for about 3 to 5 minutes, you then just press the grounds down. The grounds stay in the bottom part, and the coffee is up here, and you pour the coffee out. I like this kind of coffee. It's very, very concentrated and very, very tasty. And whenever I boil the water, I want to point out that we use a ceramic boiling apparatus. So there's no plastic anywhere. It's all just natural stainless steel and ceramic.
And glass.
And glass. So at this point, I want to remind everybody that being an important YouTube influencer, that we're trying to and striving to stay away from plastics and hard plastics, soft plastics, water bottles, because they're very bad for your health. And it's not just me telling you this. It's all over the internet, all over television, all over newsprint and media. So please try and use things that don't have plastics in them. Here's another example. I want to shift now to tea making. A ceramic little pot, stainless steel lid, and a nice carriage for the tea that's stainless steel. As opposed to, I used to make tea with this, but over time I decided, no, it's got plastic, so I'm not using that anymore. If I want to make tea, I put the tea into a stainless steel basket like that. And rather than using tea bags, even though this is a nice metal container, what I've discovered in watching a lot of news reports is that the plastic bags that tea is put into is very bad for you, because whenever you put the water into the bag and boil it, there it is, all these little plastic particles, microplastics, get out of the bag and get into your body. So I don't recommend that. If you buy tea, I would suggest you buy it loose tea, even though it comes usually in a plastic bag, sometimes in paper bags. But buy loose tea and make tea from with loose tea and put it into a metal basket. Storage of teas and coffees, please use ceramic. Don't use plastic containers. And when you drink, don't drink from those squeezable plastic bottles. Drink from stainless steel cups, like Fred has. Show him your cup, Fred.
Stainless steel inside.
My last comment for you, being an important influencer, is that in the next few weeks, we're going to come out with some episodes about how harmful microplastics are, and hard plastics are, and water bottle plastics are, how difficult it is to recycle plastic, and some of the fraudulent problems that have been occurring over decades about recycling. And then we'll show you some of the effects of the waste of plastic, which I'm sure will get your attention. So stay tuned.